Honorable Vice Chancellor, my respected teachers, esteemed teachers, and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum. My presentation is not very comprehensive. I brought just 3 questions, and I'm looking for answer of these 3 questions, and I'm sure you will help me to find out the answer. So I will find out the answer myself. And if you are agree, you can say, okay, you are right. If not, so you can add and help me out. Actually, my basic research, PhD research is based on rock carving in our industry. And I'm sure most of you, if not all, have visited the northern areas. And know the landscape and the cultural heritage of that region. And I was lucky that once I was traveling with Professor RockArt&Inscriptions, Professor Talib being on this, and Professor ProfDrMNasimKhan and Karen was with us. Remember you? Yeah, so that is a wonderful area, and I want to show you and share with you some slides, and then we'll look for the answer of the 3 questions, in fact. Yeah, so the title is RockArt&Inscriptions Valley by whom? Who? Because there are thousands of rock carving in that area. And there are different types. These are epigraphic evidence, these are favorite drawings, these are village carvings, and so many different things, not only from local regions, from the Persian Strait, but from other regions and surrounding region. Central Asia, China, India, from Gandhara, why these, by whom these, and when they were made. Next one, please. Next one. Yeah, so that's the core area, which includes Gandhara proper, and also the northern region of Pakistan area, which is encircled in yellow, in orange color. Next one, please. That is the landscape of the area. You can see the Karakoram Highway. Yeah, the Karakoram Highway runs on this side, and you have the Indus River in the high mountains, mostly arid, without any forest. There is no forestation there. Next one, please. Yeah, the administrative zones are these. But we have to focus only on this region, Chilas area. Of course, the rock carvings can be found anywhere, or in all these regions. They are scattered, or they are clustered, or found in a complex. But anyhow, you can find scattered carving everywhere. But we can focus it in this area, in Chilas area. Next one, please. Yeah, this area is geographically also important because you have the Karakoram, and you have the Himalaya, and then the Hindu Kush. There's a meeting point of the 3 mountain chain. Similarly, or the same way, you have the Gilgit River here, which flows this way and joins the Indus River here. So that is the junction of not only of the Gilgit and Indus River, but also of the 3 mountain chain, Karakoram, Himalaya, and Hindu Kush. Next one, please. Let's just want to show you the difficulty, how the access is difficult in that area. These are the narrow valleys, and at the end of these valleys you can see the glacier. There are several different glaciers, extended glaciers, limited glaciers, but they are there on the Karakoram range and also in the Hindu Kush and the Himalaya. Next one, please. Yeah, and so again, the physical feature of that area, you see there's very narrow gorges, and crossing these area in ancient times, just imagine how the people could go there and to the upper Indus Valley, to the area in Chilas region. We are just nearby in Tasu, in Badal area. But that is a very restricted area. Yeah, so but presently we have to cross the Indus River to these hanging bridges. And when I was doing my PhD, I had to use these tracks, and remember the Indus was very deep, and with an arrow you can be down in the river. So you want to be careful while walking in that area. Next one, please. Despite that area, there is the tectonic zone. This is always there are landslidings, especially in this month, so the travelers they want to go in the month of August because the landsliding is always there, as you can see here. But at that time when I was doing my PG, there were many tours going there, despite of all these difficulties. But nowadays the tourism is very less because of the security situation and due to other different reasons, political reasons. Next one, please. Now, this restricted area, secluded area, the area is full of rock carvings. We have, the duty is not only the landscape, but of course the intangible and the tangible heritage. And we will focus on this. Next one, please. You see maybe you have seen on the website the Pakistan fort and the gold necklace, very famous necklace, which is now in the Shah Museum, probably in the State Bank of Pakistan. But it is the property of the Shah Museum. And we have the Hanzar Stupa here, and Mughal Minar in the area. We have grave sites, so many grave sites, and the objects coming from the grave sites are mostly these jewelry. And also we have Professor Muiz was talking about the Karga Buddha here. And we have Chinese inscriptions. It's very, very important because the Chinese inscriptions is not only 1, 2, 3, there are multiple Chinese inscriptions. And some are very important because they are talking about the diplomatic relation between China and northern Pakistan. And of course, these beautiful rock carvings there. This in Shankar area. Yeah, the several scholars or different scholars have worked on these rock carvings in our industry, but the major work and important contribution made by Ghulam Muhammad. He was the first to let us know that there are rock carvings. And then our staff was visiting that area and published an article in 1942. And Gerard Usman, my professor, in 1978, he published a very good article on the Aram, which he was referring to Dr. Muiz today's rock carvings. Very good publication in 1978. And then there was a Pak-German collaboration, Pak-German research project. And under that project, Professor Qazi Umar was the leader and Professor Ahmed Sindani. And did a wonderful job. A lot of publications are available there. And when I started my PhD, so since 1994, I'm still working on that from that time and published different articles in ancient Pakistan and journals. Muhammad Arif, one person who did his PhD, he was the DG Archaeology Government of Pakistan. It was, I think, 1990, and the Pak-German, under that Pak-German study group, they have published 11 volumes. They are very bulky. In the Department of Archaeology University of Sham can find them. So these are the major publications. Of course, besides there's so many people, they have worked on the rock carving. Darsal also published a very good book on the rock carving beyond the gorges. I think that is the title. Yeah. Next one, please. Yeah. So now. Coming back to the landscape, so this is the Nanga Parbat mountain, the Indus River is there, and the Karakoram Highway is this one. And here you can see the boulders on both sides of the Karakoram Highway and along the Indus. Next one, please. So the Karakoram Highway or the Indus River is connected to the outside world through these valleys. So this is just, I gave you an example of Babusar Valley. If you want to go to Kawan, Naran, and onward to Texala region, or coming from that side to go to Central Asia or Gilgit or China, you have to pass or cross this valley and enter to the Indus Karakoram there, and the Indus is flowing there. Next one, please. So once you reach here, so you can find open places like this one. You have the Indus, and on both sides you can find the open places with huge boulders or rocks like this one, well varnished, very polished, and when you read it, you have nothing to do. You want to write down something, to draw something, or we will come to that later. So these varnished rocks are full of rock carvings. We will see later on. And then go back, please. Go back, yeah. So that's when you come from the Babusar Valley Hill, cross the Indus here, enter to the Ban Valley, and then you go onward to Garga Valley. Dr. Muniz was referring to the Garga Buddha, so that is the very area. And then onward to Hunza and Hunjara Pass, or of course you have to follow the track and go to your destination. Next one. That's another view of the crossing point, the Rajasthan highway, and the bridge through which you can cross Indus and enter to the valley, the opposite valley, and go onward to Chitral, Gilgit, or to Central Asia. Next one. Yeah, so once you reach here, you have to cross the Indus. The question is now here. Of course, when you go in the summer season to that area, the level of the water is very high. You can't cross the Indus. Just imagine at that time, now you have a bridge or bridges. But at that time, you don't have any bridge. You have to cross the Indus. By what means? You have to find out. And therefore, you have to stay on one side of the Indus. For example, if you are coming from the east, from Texala here, so you reach the Indus level is very high, you can't cross the Indus, you have to wait. For how long? Maybe for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. It depends. When the water level is low, and when it is low, that's during the winter season. Why? Because then the melting of the snow stops. But in the summer season, the melting of snow will continue. And that feeds the river Indus. So the level is very high. So for that reason, you have to stay here. And what you have to do for these 2, 3, 4, or 6 months, you have to draw your name or any carving you would like, or if you are a person of religion or devoted to your religion, you have to draw stupa, Hindu temples, or anything belonging to your religion, any symbols. Next one, please. Yeah, so when I was working in 1994, so when I crossed the Indus, so I had to stay on the other side of the Indus. There's no shade, there's no shelter, there's no tree. Not only around the Indus, but even on the mountain, there's no tree. So you have to stay in the over here. Next one, please. And these were the sites I had discovered at that time. Next one, please. So what we found there, when the people went there, stayed there, what they were doing. Oh, multiple things can be seen there. For example, you have figural drawings, and the figural drawings consist of the prehistoric and historic period carvings. Here, in the prehistoric carving, you have giants, you have footprints, handprints, animals hunting and fighting scenes. The historic period, again, you have animals and human figures, and so on. And you have also these dynastic symbols like Shan symbol, you have Al-Khun, that help us to identify who they were. So that is the advantage with these symbols. Otherwise, just to base our identification on footprints or giants, it doesn't help too much who those people were. But thanks to these inscriptions and these dynastic symbols, we can, or these religious symbols, we can imagine who they were. On the other side, we have inscription, and different script. We have Kalushi. Dr. Muiz told you that it starts from Shatiyar region up to the Alam Bridge. Beyond that region, you have Brahmi inscriptions. But of course, we are this Kalushi inscription, we are talking about the 1st, 2nd century AD. But the Brahmi inscription belongs to the 4th, 5th century AD. So there are two main periods. On the early period, so in the early period, you have the stupas shape is different, the script is different, but in the later period, the stupa shape is totally different, and also the script is different. Here you have different inscriptions. Kharoshti, Koi we found there. That's a question mark. Huh? We shouldn't be sure about for a moment, but possible with the Koi. We have Brahmi, we have Proto-Sharada, Sharada, you have Tibetan, Urdu, Chinese, Sogdian, Middle Persian, Parthian, Syrian. Of course, I'm not expert in Sogdian and they are studied by our scholars. And even we have Bactrian, Chinese, and Hindu inscription also there. So that would mean that this area was very important. Why? So this is another question. Next one, please. So these are the giants. I was referring to the figural drawings. So these are the giants. You see that's very strange. They are very huge, life size, or sometimes more than that. So you see these curly things coming out from the skull, and the snake's tongue also coming out from the skull, and with extended arm and something this belly coming out from the armpits. Nearby, there's another person without. We can't see the arms. Here, there's another one. Here, this one's interesting because we have this circle in the armpit with the dot inside. So apparently it looks like a female figure, maybe a rough drawing of the female figure. But no, the male organ is also there. So what that is there? So sometimes these giants, because it's difficult to identify, we just say, oh, these are giants. But we don't know these are female or male. There's sometimes a mixture. We have handprints and footprints after this. These are normally dated to the prehistoric time. I'm not every person in that, and that I will explain later on. But these are dated to the prehistoric time. Why? Because of the patina. They are very dark. But darkness shouldn't be a criteria for dating any carving. Why? I will explain later. Next one, please. So we have hunting scene here. You can see the ibex with there's the heart. Yeah? We have the different ibex, but behind standing the dogs, and the hunter is there. So they are and thousands. Everywhere you can find these. So these are engraved either on isolated boulders, either on the cliffs of the mountains, like you can see here. These bulls, humble here. Next one, please. Yeah, this is the historic period carving, supposedly. So the style is totally different. We call this animal style. And Professor Yagmar and Professor Rani, they believe that they are Central Asian style. So they are Central Asian animals. And the gold girdle we found, which is in the Shower Museum, the carving which are depicted there, are shown there on this necklace, they have very close similarity to those ones. And that is why that girdle is dated to the city place in that period. Maybe it's belong to a later period because these cultural things circulate from one period to another, or from one area to another. But that is the broad dating for that gold girdle. These shoulder marks here, they are generally believed to be the Achaemenid period. If they are, another one, the figure here, they are also considered to be Central Asian in style. And then we have these horses, which are told to belong to the Tang dynasty, with inscription nearby, in Chinese pagoda and Chinese inscription. And we have also lingas, and with the inscription who engraved the linga, his name is Bai Kaka. So that help us that who those people were. They were from Central Asia, from China, or from India, from Gandhara. Now, yeah, the first question is by whom? So the Kharushti inscriptions are there, the Chinese inscriptions are there, the Sogdian inscriptions are there. So we can guess, we can imagine, oh, those are engraved by people coming from those different areas. Because person going from Gandhara to that secluded area, to the upper Indus Valley. Why? I mean, there's no logic that person from Gandhara should engrave a Sogdian inscription there. And there's no Sogdian inscription in the Peshawar Valley or in Gandhara, or Hebrew inscription there. We have very few Brahmin inscriptions in proper Gandhara, but there are thousands in the upper Indus Valley. So they were coming from different regions. Why now? The question is why they came here. And when? When, yeah, there can be answer. Why? Because thanks to the inscription, the epigraphy or the writing style can help us to date an inscription. Of course, there shouldn't be a fixed date. There's 50 years, 100 years, plus minus. But in a broader context, we can place or it could be 2nd, 1st century AD or 4th, 5th century AD or 1st century BC. So we can, the epigraphical evidence we can date SGD. And thanks to these inscriptions, because sometimes the carvings, the figural drawings are added with inscriptions. Because somebody, I show you a slide that Kakena, oh, I did this, oh, Kaka, by me, I'm the Kaka, Kakena. So it's an Indian name. So that figural drawing we can also that or that belongs to the or that is contemporary with the inscriptions. So that oh, thank you. So next one. Yeah. So some of the carving, these are, we don't know what these symbols are for. Maybe they are just by someone passing the time, or they might have some symbolic meaning like chakra or some symbol, etc. So some of the symbols are like that. It depends on you how to interpret it. It works. The dynastic symbols. You see, we have here the Sogdian symbol here, we have the Hittite symbol here, we have the Kushan symbol here. So they help us. If not, we are not very 100% sure that, oh, that belongs to the Kushan too. But at least we say, oh, this is the Kushan symbol, so maybe this could belong to the Kushan. Otherwise, how we can justify the presence of this symbol? The same as for the Sogdian symbol, it is not we could find in Gandhara. That's mostly common to Central Asia. And the Hittite symbol is similar. We can find on the coins these symbols. Next one. Now, somebody was talking, I think this is our friend was talking about these the pentagram. So this is the painting coming from the pentagram. Professor Farid Khan installed this long ago. And here we have a Christian inscription here. And we can get it easily that the carving, it is written as Kanishka Maharaja Vihadu. It means the Vihara or the monastery or the stupa is of Kanishka Maharaja. Can you hear me? Yes. So, the style of the stupa is very different. When there is a Kharushti inscription nearby, the form of the stupa, the style of the stupa is different. If a Brahmi inscription is added with the stupa carving or any other religious carvings, particularly the stupa, the shape and form change. And the difference is about 3 to 4 century AD. So, and these are mostly similarity can be seen with Gandhara stupa. And that, of course, we can justify with the Kharushti inscriptions as well, because Kharushti inscriptions are in there nearby. Next one, please. So these are very developed form of stupa. And all stupa here, they are added with the Brahmi inscription, Sogdian inscription. Yeah, so all sort of inscriptions, but they belong to the 4th, 5th century AD, except one group of inscription, which is here. This is Kharushti inscription that can be guessed that is Kharushti, because when we read as Kharushti, we can't translate it. I mean, we can't understand the meaning. The text, we don't know what is written there. So, at the form, the shape of the letter is very similar to Kharushti, but in fact, the language is not clear. So, we shouldn't consider this for dating the inscription, the carving. The other inscriptions which are datable, they are readable, and the contents, we know what is written there. So they belong to the 4th, 5th century AD. So all stupa, which belong to the 4th, 5th century AD, there is a clear difference between the early group and the second group. This group is added with Kharushti and Brahmi inscription, and other foreign scripts belong to the 4th, 5th century AD. But the previous group you have seen, these are early style, And we can say that thanks to Rushdie inscriptions, to the first, second century AD. Next one, please. So we have also these other religious carving in thousands. The Jataka stories, the Shivi Jataka, Vyagri Jataka, and this is the temptation of Mara, and the first sermon is there. Next one. This again the very developed form of stupa, and there are Bodhisattvas, Manjushri, Avalokiteshvara, different Bodhisattvas are engraved there. Next one. And the inscription, either they are just the names, like you have seen Kaka, or sometimes they are added with a patronym, like father, and sometimes with brothers, but there are very few inscriptions. I shouldn't say few. There's only one inscription which is dated. There's a date inside, but we don't know about the era. And one inscription, which is published by Professor Dani, it's mentioned the name of the kingdom. Apart from these are very fragmented inscriptions and not give us too much information about the person who engraved this. There are some, for example, this inscription, Om Kulla Jaya, that's the name of a person, and then it's Om Siddham, Sarvadatasya, Pritam Maya, so there's the word Maya is by me. So sometimes we have word and action, and the person who did it. Otherwise, you can't get more information from those inscriptions, so you have to guess. Next one. Yeah, that's the very famous Chinese inscription. So it was debated for so many years, oh, this belongs to the northern wire, southern wire, which that it is. But fortunately, we found a linga here that superimposed the Chinese inscription. And we couldn't date the linga. But the name of the person who engraved the linga, it is also there. It is written in Brahmi characters, and that's 4th century AD. That means that the Chinese inscription is earlier than that. And this inscription is extremely important. Why? Because you can see the reading in the translation here. Go along, and Y of the great Y is dispatched to Mimi now. We don't know where is Mimi. Most of the scholars, they agree that Mimi is Mimarga in Central Asia somewhere. But we don't have any good other option to suggest or propose, so we have stuck to that Mimi Mimarga in Central Asia. So Chinese diplomat was dispatched or sent to go to the Mimi passing through that area. Next one. Yeah, so you see, these are brief inscriptions: Shiva Dattasa, Vasu Dattasa, Jiva Jalma, Jiva, Varma Jatta. Very brief inscription. Next one. Yeah, this is the one where the kingdom is a Kasha region. So this is the only inscription published by Professor Dani which mentions the name of the kingdom and also the year here, but we don't know the era exactly. So we have to guess from the style of the writing. Next one. So these are the very common names, very important for us. Why? Because we can guess from those names because they are engraved on both sides of the Indus in the same style, in the same script. So that helps us that particular person was circulating from one area, going from one area to another. But it was not possible to do all the time. He has to wait a suitable time to cross the Indus. And as I explained in the beginning, that to cross the Indus, it is not very easy. You have to wait for a proper time, and the proper time is to the Indus, the level of the Indus is low, and when it is low, it is during the winter season. So when you cross the Indus River, so that is a good thing for you to cross the Indus. But on the other hand, there is a negative part of that. Why? Because then the top of the mountain are covered with snow. You can't cross the passes. So you have to stay on the other side of the Indus. So what you have to do? So these are the varnished rocks, and you have to stay there. So that is one possibility. And the other possibilities, That is some of the scholars are thinking that, or maybe there was these were the trading center, people coming from Central Asia, from China, they were exchanging their goods there. So that is another possibility. Next one. Yeah, so this is very technical. I don't want to go into the detail this, but this is how to relate these different names I mentioned earlier. So they have relation. But I'll just give you an example. Vasudhara. Here is the reason that Vasudhara. Vasudatta is this one. Vasudatta is the son of Vasudhara. It is here. So we can connect these in some way, thanks to these few inscriptions, that what relation they have. Otherwise, we don't have any other option or possibility to connect these people. But I presume that there were not many people living there. There were very few people, but they were circulating from one area to another and engraving their names again and again. And you can find Vasudatta, for example, maybe 100 times there. But if you consider it individually, you say, oh, 100 people came here. Oh, it's possible, but I presume that this was only one person there. Next one, please. Yeah, this is Sam. Next one, please. The previous one. Yeah, here there's a word I don't understand. This is the because I'm just looking for the designation or the importance of those people, who they were. They were traders, or they were diplomats, like in Chinese inscriptions. What were their professions? So this inscription, Mahatrapasa, and we have the word Mahakashatrapa. So how to relate this? It's difficult to say, but it's possible that's the correct form of Mahakashatrapa. Because the Bhagavato Vasutarasya hai, Bhagavan Vasutara, Mahakashatrapa Vasutara. So maybe he was an important person there, visiting the area. Next one, please. Yeah, next one. I'll skip this. Yeah, this, Madam Aisha, this is for you. Kashmir-Smas is a very important site. And why? Because we didn't know that their site was visited by Xuanzang. Unfortunately, we found there are some seals which mention the name of Bhima Devi. And Xuanzang, in his account, he said, I visited the temple of Maheshwara. And he's talking about the goddess Bhima Devi. So once you know, okay, if you know that he visited Peshawar, and then onward we didn't know whether he visits Bangalore or not, whether he visits, there are different opinions, you know. I can't say that that one is correct or the other one is not correct. Yes, but at least we know that he visited Kashmir. So we can redraw the route of Xuanzang in Gandhara, thanks to Kashmir. Why he visited Kashmir? That's not a Buddhist site. Was it a Buddhist site at that time? Because he visited that in 7th century. But at that time Hindu Shai was there. Or before Hindu Shai, but there was Hindu temples. So what was the purpose of his visit there? But he himself explained that people from different quarters of the world, they are attracted to their area for that purpose. Next one. And these are the coins. This coin belong to the 1st century AD. They are coming from Kashmir. Next one. This Tang dynasty coin. This is the time of Xuanzang. So these coins also coming from Kashmir. And also not only from Kashmir. Professor Dr. Zahir also found some coin in Chitral area during excavation. Next one, please. Yeah. So this is the discovery of Professor Dr. Zahir. We also found Tang period coins in the area. Next one. Yeah, and the recent research is now this Kohi script. The Kohi script is very important. Nobody was thinking that, everybody was thinking this is a fake inscription. But now scholars are agreeing these are genuine inscriptions because we found these during excavation. But the problem is how to read it. What is written there? The number of the signs are unlimited. It's not like Kharushti or like Brahmi, they have a limited number of signs. So each inscription is different from the other one, and they have a different symbol. So I counted this more than 200, and the signs are very similar to the Chinese character. I shouldn't say these are Chinese characters, but the similarity is there. And when in Chinese accounts, if you are working on ancient scripts, they are referring to different scripts like the three-man script. as is also in the Lali Stara. There's Kharushti, Brahmi, and Pushkara Sari. So we don't know what is Pushkara Sari. The other are identified. Some scholars say there's 30, some texts say there's 32, or some say 64. In both cases, the three major scripts these were Brahmi, Kharushti, and Pushkara Sari. We know about Brahmi and Kharushti, but where is Pushkara Sari? Pushkara Sari? It's up to you. Thank you very much.